Then there were 8. This is one of the best weekends of football. The divisional round is here, and joining me for NFL Upvote is For the Win's coolest guys, a bandwagon Jags fan, Andy Nesbitt, and USA Today Sports Plus NFL insider Safid Deen. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here.
I've been a Jags fan for like weeks. I don't enjoy that bandwagon fan thing.
I'm also a cool guy.
Sure. All right, y'all, up first. So we have the Cardiac Cats heading to Kansas City, and Jags fans on Reddit are really feeling themselves in this first post. So this meme is titled, "When People Tell Me the Jaguars Have No Chance Against KC." And it's the iconic Change My Mind meme with the poster saying, "If you have a coach and a quarterback, you have a chance. Change my mind." So Andy, upvote or downvote, the Jaguars have a chance for the upset this weekend in Arrowhead.
Oh, up to the moon. And I'll tell you why. It's really easy to understand why. The Jaguars have won 6 games in a row. Each one of those games has basically been a playoff game for them. They lose any of those games, it's over. They beat the Cowboys in that stretch. They beat the Titans in that stretch. They just beat the Chargers in a thrilling fashion in that stretch. And now they go to Kansas City, and Doug Peterson's like, guys, we're a great football team. We have nothing to lose here. Let's go out and play our game. They can go out there and punch Kansas City in the mouth. And Kansas City's going to be like, what's going on here? And also, Trevor freaking Lawrence, the Waffle House king of Jacksonville. Did you see what he did last week? The most impressive thing he did last week was he threw 4 interceptions. That was impressive as hell. Not that he threw them, how he bounced back from them. Like any other second-year quarterback throws 4 interceptions in the first half of their first playoff game, they'll go, oh, my God, I'm not ready for this spotlight. What am I doing here? Trevor said, forget the 4 picks. He went out there, won the game with 4 touchdowns. That's going to be the game we look back on in 20 years when we're putting him in Canton as one of the best ever. We're going to remember when he did that to the Chargers. So all that to say this, the Jacksonville Jaguars go into Kansas City. They punch Patrick Mahomes in the mouth. Not literally, well, maybe we'll see what happens. And they beat the Kansas City Chiefs by 10 points.
Safid, are we underestimating Mahomes and the Chiefs this postseason? That sounds like Andy is a little bit, but it feels like they're somehow flying under the radar right now.
I don't know whose radar they're flying under. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. This is the Chiefs dynasty. This is Andy Reid. This is Patrick Mahomes. This is Travis Kelce. We're talking about Arrowhead Stadium as well, too. Look, Trevor Lawrence did throw 8 touchdowns last week, 4 to his own team and 4 to the other team. That's not going to help in Kansas City this week, all right? Nobody's thrown more touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes this year. Nobody has a better quarterback rating. Nobody's thrown for more yards than this guy, okay? We're talking about an all-time quarterback here, and we're talking about an all-time NFL dynasty. I think nobody's really underestimating the Chiefs here. I think the Jags have nothing to lose. It's good that they played the Chiefs earlier this year, but I think we all know what's going to happen here. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to light it up, and I think they're going to go toe-to-toe with Jacksonville. They're going to advance and wait for the Bills and Bengals in the AFC title game.
I just hope the Jags have a Waffle House food truck nearby in Kansas City, because right after that game, I want the king of Waffle House smothered and covered, the kid, Trevor Lawrence, in there eating his hash browns, eating his waffle, eating his eggs. The kid deserves it all.
He has to if he wins. All right, on to the Saturday night game and those pesky New York Giants. So last week we called the upset over the Vikings, and let's see what Giants Reddit has this week for us. So yeah, another meme. This time it's a Daniel Jones apology form titled, "Sorry, Danny Dimes, I didn't know you were a dog like that." So Safid, upvote or downvote? Daniel Jones does have that dog in him and is a franchise quarterback.
Ooh, okay. So I'm gonna upvote the dog in him. I'm not yet ready to upvote the franchise quarterback just yet. I think if we're gonna upvote anybody here, it's got to be Brian Daboll, the Giants coach. I mean, look, this guy is a quarterback whisperer. He's turned Tua Tagovailoa's career in Alabama in a positive way, and he's the reason Josh Allen is the way Josh Allen is in Buffalo at the start of his career too. He's done what he's done with Danny Dimes here. He's turned him into a quarterback who can win and be opportunistic, right? He can run with the ball and score with his legs. He can also get some receivers outside. But look, I think the Giants have what it takes to beat the Eagles this week. I don't like Philly coming off a bye. I like the Giants kind of keeping their momentum rolling here in the playoffs.
Andy, the Giants are going to be playing the Eagles for the 3rd time, and they did lose both regular season games, but there's some hope for Giants fans since the merger. You know, teams going for the 3rd game sweep are only 15-9 in the playoffs. So do you think the Giants make that 15-10?
I think so. I'm a big fan of the Giants right now. And yeah, the Eagles couldn't have been happy about this matchup, because we saw it last week when the Ravens almost beat the Bengals, right? Like when you get to this time of the year, like the last thing you want to see is a division opponent. You've seen them before. They know you. They're not intimidated by anything. And so I think the Giants have to be just so excited for this matchup. I think they're going to go into Philly Danny Dimes got a huge game. But you know what I'm most excited about? I'm most happy for? I had no dog in that fight last week. I'm so excited for Saquon Barkley, right? This guy was what? Top 5 pick. He's battled through injuries, bad teams. And there he was last Sunday making plays in the playoffs. And we spoke to him last year on Radio Row, just like the nicest guy. I remember sitting there on Sundays going, good for Saquon Barkley to be back, like doing that stuff. So I'm excited to watch this game. I thought Daniel Jones was a bust years ago. I'm stupid. He's very good. Let's go. What a weekend. Old school matchups. I'm excited. Where's Waffle House? Let's go.
Waffle House. Okay, moving on to arguably the best game of the weekend. The Bengals are going to travel to Buffalo on Sunday, and after both teams had less than stellar performances in the wild card round, if we're being honest, a Bengals Redditor very quickly made this post and a meme titled, "Something's Got to Give." It's a Spider-Man meme with one Spider-Man titled, "Can't beat the Bills playing like that," and the other Spider-Man titled, "Can't beat the Bengals playing like that." Kind of like that. So we know both teams didn't play great. One quarterback in particular had a real shaky performance last weekend. So Andy, upvote or downvote, Josh Allen's turnovers will doom the Bills this weekend.
Pains me to do this. The people of Buffalo know how much I love the Bills. But after watching the Bills struggle last week against Skylar Thompson, I have to upvote this and say Josh Allen could be the thing that cost them a trip to the AFC Championship game. You can't, like, they struggled so bad on Sunday. By the way, that game was like 9 hours long. I don't know what happened to that game. I think it just ended. But they can't allow a team quarterback, and no offense, Safid here, Skylar Thompson. Like, he was like making plays against their defense. Their defense is what I'm very concerned about, because at the beginning of the year, they were flying all over the place and making plays. And the Dolphins, you know, if Waddle can make some catches, they could do some things. They could have won that game. I think Burrow and the Bengals survived the Ravens, their division opponent. They got to be feeling good about that. And now they come in here. They went to the Super Bowl last year. They beat the Chiefs on the road. They know what it takes. So it's going to be a slugfest. And I kind of think the Bengals pull this one out. But again, I'm stupid. I'm wrong all the time.
Safid, who do you trust more in this matchup, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen?
I'm taking Joe Burrow. Look, you have 2 number 1 receivers in Cincinnati and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Tyler Boyd catches everything his way. Joe Mixon is a bona fide star running back here. And the thing is, Josh Allen turns into Superman when he doesn't have to, okay? The Dolphins kind of proved this in a way to beat Josh Allen and the Bills. Let Josh Allen fly all over the field. Let him go crazy. Let him hold the football with one hand and run all over the place. He's bound to mess up. The Dolphins showed that Allen is bound to mess up. That's how you beat him. I think Joe Burrow is going to be a lot more composed. And Joe Burrow's been to the Super Bowl before. Josh Allen and the Bills haven't. I think something plays a factor there for Cincinnati with their experience, even though they're going on the road in a game maybe should have been in a neutral site after all the things that happened. You know, thank goodness DeMar Hamlin is healthy again. But this is going to be the most exciting game this week, and I really can't wait to watch it.
All right, last but not least, it's a classic matchup. It's a rematch from last year's playoffs. It's going to be the most talked about game all week. It is the Cowboys heading to San Francisco. And before we jump into our post, let's see what Mr. Andy Nesbitt had to say last week about this Cowboys team. They made me, Andy. The Cowboys will find a way to blow their game against the Bucs. Andy, go.
Through the roof. I mean,
Cowboys Twitter's going crazy already.
Nothing says January like the Dallas Cowboys losing a game that they should win. And they just did that last week against Washington. And now they're going to go to Tampa. And this team is terrible on grass. They stink on grass. And they have to play, you know where? On the grass in Tampa. And Tom Brady, I know he's 8-9, and his team is largely bad. Garbage problems. Right? They've been bad for long stretches of the year. I think they beat the Cowboys easily. And once again, all the Cowboys fans are going to be mad and quickly looking at mock drafts come 12:30 at night on Monday.
Okay, Andy, my producer said Cowboys Nation deserves an apology from you.
Listen, I'm not going to apologize. I was wrong, but I forgot that I said the Bucs would easily win that game. That obviously did not happen, so I was wrong there. But what I take away from the game, they were showing Jerry Jones's box after touchdown, and they were like spraying champagne. Like Jerry Jones was like hugging people, like, "Can you believe it?" And I'm on my couch going, "Can I believe you're beating an 8-9 team that won the awful NFC South? Like, why are you going so?" I mean, I'm from Boston, right? So we're just used to winning championships and being like, you know, we forget about wild card games. We barely even clap at the end of wild card games because we're like, we gotta wait up for the. You know, actually, Boston fans, we never really play in AFC wild card games. We're always in the divisional round. So I understand that the Cowboys haven't won a road playoff game in 30 years, which is wild. That I was 2 years old when that happened. just you see this. The Cowboys are who we thought they were. They're a bunch of frauds cheering on a victory that really didn't mean that much. And if they go to San Francisco and lose, their whole season was a failure.
There you go, Cowboys fans. All right.
So no apology. Officially no apology.
No apology. Even worse. Speaking of retributions, though, one Cowboys Redditor once won for Dak Prescott. And trust me, Andy, this wasn't written by our producers, Colin and Madison, who are Cowboys fans. So it said, "You owe Dak an apology. Y'all know who you are." Other than the interceptions, and I know that's a sizable amount, but Dak has played like this kind of all season, and tonight was just the culmination of what he's done all year, minus the dumb interceptions, which a number haven't even been his fault. Advanced analysis has shown that Dak has been playing at this level the majority of the time. So Andy, upvote or downvote, we can trust the Cowboys and Dak Prescott in big games now.
I'm going to downvote this until he does something in a big game, right? We haven't seen him play in a big game yet. They're going to play the 49ers, who play very, very good defense. It's going to be a raucous crowd there at Levi's Stadium, and everyone, their dungarees are going to be going crazy there. So if he can pull this one out, if he can get a win over the San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy, I will come back here next week if you will have me, and I will say maybe something nice about the Cowboys. But I think the 49ers defense is going to shut down the Cowboys. And once again, I'm putting my easily stamp on the San Francisco 49ers easily beating the Dallas Cowboys Sunday.
All right, I want to be clear, Safid. You had Dallas beating Tampa, and you've kept a level head. You know, Andy, you can't say so much the same, but they play a juggernaut in San Francisco this weekend, the team that bounced them from the playoffs last year. But before I ask you to tell me how you think this game's going to play out, one thing to note, Brock Purdy has only played teams ranked in the bottom 10 in defense so far in his career. Dallas is definitely not that, but how does this game play out, Safid?
I don't care who Brock Purdy has played, okay? He's going to destroy the Dallas Cowboys. Mackenzie, you can't even say Cowboys without laughing. I mean, they are the laughing stock of the NFL in playoff time come January. I'm going to say everything Andy said last week. The Cowboys are going to mess this up. They're going to go to San Francisco. They're going to play in that grass there. They can't play in grass, okay? Dallas Cowboys, you had your fun. You had one win over Tom Brady at 89 years old against an 8-9 team. It's not going to be the same this week when you go to San Francisco, okay? 49ers are the best defense in the NFL. Brock Purdy's being put in positions to win with Kyle Shanahan. And you guys couldn't even beat the 49ers last year without Christian McCaffrey. What are you going to do this year? Cowboys are going to lose, and we're all going to laugh, belly laughs on Sunday night.
And I dare the producers to play this tape back next week. I dare you.
Hey, sports fans, if you want to see more conversations with athletes and stars, check out these videos right here and be sure to subscribe for more from USA Today Sports.